All right, let's get into it. But I'm gonna say off rip, I don't really think it's that deep. But I did want to talk about it.
What up, Rusky? You good? What you playing on your Nintendo Switch? Smash Bros? I'll beat you. Alright, gang. Chad, does anybody have the Nintendo Switch? You're not even a Nintendo Switch type of nigga. Nah, me neither. I ain't gonna lie. But I heard it was like crazy though. I heard it was crazy, bro. Wale. Oh my God, that was somebody crazy. The whole chat knows him.
Wale is funny though. I'm not gonna lie, Wale's funny.
Oh, word.
Like Lotus Flower Bomb and all that stuff.
Oh, shit.
All right, hold up, cause I don't think. Listen, I don't think this was no diss. It wasn't no diss. I feel like bro genuinely didn't know Wale. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. That's fair. I mean, nah, that's fair. But yeah, I don't think it was no diss. It wasn't no type of, you know what I'm saying? And I think just because it wasn't no diss, it doesn't mean the shit wasn't funny. I mean, the Wale is funny. That shit is funny. It's a big event. There's a lot of eyes on this shit. So it's gonna get memed, dog. Like that's the internet culture. It's gonna get memed. And I really don't think it's that deep. So I don't think if Wale don't confront Kai, it would have never been it would have been a meme. And then it would have, you know, everybody would have moved on to the next thing because yeah, it was funny. It wasn't no diss at all. It was funny, but I do think that I think Wale made it worse by confronting him later. Like it's not a good look, but let's watch that one too.
That shit making me look crazy right now. Just let you know.
What?
That's making me look crazy. The exchange that we had in the hallway. It's
Oh,
like,
my bad, bro.
they running with it, but we'll talk later.
Ah, man. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, bro. You came in here all blue.
So I will say, I don't think this is malicious from Wale. I don't really think it doesn't feel like it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? It is, yeah, like I don't think it's malicious. It's kind of, I feel like it's out of pocket though. Yeah, it's not malicious. I don't understand what his intention was with this because it's like, this is when I think that we need to give a little bit of grace to the kind of older generation that they didn't grow up with the internet as it is today. And by the way, like I feel like low key, I'm part of that shit too because I'm in my 30s and shit. But what I feel like, just like the youth needs some grace growing up in the internet age, the way everything is online and everything, they got all this attention on them. Mistakes are being made in front of cameras. Like, you know, there's a lot going on. It's a whole lot different than the time where, let's say, Wale was born in the 80s. So it's a whole lot different than the time where he grew up. And you could make your mistakes kind of out of the spotlight, out of like, you know, with so much attention on it. So I do think he need to give him a little bit of grace, man. I'll give him some grace because I don't think that there was fully malicious on this. However, I do think this reflects on his insecurities, right? Like, because when you say somebody else making me look crazy, that statement right there, it says a lot about insecurities because you giving your power to another person or whatever, regardless of who it is. This is what I'm saying. It's like you make me go crazy or whatever, or whatever, however he said it. You giving that kind of power for something outside of yourself to make you see what I'm saying? To look crazy is like that's giving your power away because he could have just took that and rolled with it. He could have just took that as a funny moment, roll with it, you know what I'm saying? Maybe have a sense of humor about it. And you know what I'm saying? And kept it pushing. You, bro, just keep it P, dog. And that's the thing about internet culture and the memes and you know what I'm saying, you get clipped. It's gonna happen when you're out there in the spotlight. So I think if he took it, you know, with a sense of humor, whatever, and because this is the thing about it. People who are secure about themselves, who don't need the outside validation and shit like that, they don't do this kind of thing, man. They don't do because they know their value. It doesn't matter if you got, you know what I'm saying, no followers or a bunch of followers. Like it don't matter because you know who you are and you know your value is in who you are, not of what you do or, you know what I'm saying, how many followers you got, all this stuff or whatever the case is. So I do think that it shows some insecurity on the side of Wale because he's saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this situation, it made me look crazy. But it's like, it's one thing if other people think you're crazy. And it's another thing to say, do I think I'm crazy? You see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying like you got to move without taking accountability or looking at yourself sometimes. Because sometimes you might need to look at yourself and be like, yo, I wilded out right there. You know what I'm saying? That's on me. That's looking at yourself in the mirror, having accountability, being aware, right? You being aware. There's nothing wrong with that. But I don't think this is one of those times because I feel like the first clip is not one of those times. I feel like the second clip, yeah, he does need to take a little look at himself and kind of, you know what I'm saying, go from there. But like I said, I think, you know what I'm saying, I'll give him some grace because of what this internet culture is and what it's become. And you know what I'm saying, like I said, bro, the OGs, a lot of the OGs, they ain't grow up with it. They haven't kept up with how it's evolved over time. Yeah, man, like, I don't think it is that deep. I don't think it's that deep. I don't think any of it is that deep. I think, you know what I'm saying, this is just what happened. I think he did make it worse by confronting him about it and saying, like, what's the intention right here? I don't understand what the intention is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. So I think, like, yeah, this shit actually made it worse, because if he didn't do this here, he could have just, you know what I'm saying, took it on the chin or whatever. There's going to be a meme, ride it out, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then keep it pushing. And maybe even then, he could have linked up with Kyle off for the strength of that interaction where the chat kind of, you know what I'm saying, it could have been a moment, it could have been an opportunity. Instead of doing this, which is like, it looks a little weird, dog. It looks a little weird. So it's like, I felt like his ego kind of got the better of him. But at the same time, because look, we want to talk about things happening in the spotlight, right? Because you talking about the man like Kai right here. Y'all remember that Tyler shit, bro, that we friends though? That shit, like, that happened live, and Kai just took that. He rolled with it, bro. You see what I'm saying? Like, and that's one thing that is very powerful of this man Kai, bro. He takes whatever happens and makes it a positive out of it. And there's a lot of power in that, because you're not putting your power outside of yourself where something else is making you do something, or it's making you, like he said, making me look crazy or whatever. You see what I'm saying? You see the difference of energy there. You can see how it goes, because, yo, that, I can't imagine. That shit had to be uncomfortable when he was going through that shit. And you know what I'm saying? That's not even the only thing. But, man, listen, I am not even trying to glaze or nothing like that. But I'm just saying that this is how I see the situation. It's like, it's a certain way that you got to move out here if you're going to be in the spotlight. But, yeah, man, I do think we need to give the OGs some grace when it comes to this shit, and maybe give a chance to explain or have a conversation. But they're not even owed that. Let me get that clear. They're not owed that. But I'm saying, like, in this particular situation, I don't think it's that deep. So, but I do think he was low-key wilding. He low-key wilding off of that, man. I don't know, man. That's just my take on it.